Hey y'all, so if you don't know me already, I already started with the smacking. If you don't know my name already, I am Rain, otherwise known as Lorraine. Lorraine is my real name, but I go by Rain. And I am here with the awaited video, and awaited for me, awaited for a lot of other people who ask me questions about this all the time. I am talking about my psoriasis, which is actually very exciting to me now, because before I kind of never really wanted to talk about it. I actually really just wanted to act like it doesn't even exist and just move on from it. But I feel like it's very important, me trying to be in the industry that I'm in, that I speak on it and make it aware. If anything, I want to be a motherfucking ambassador for psoriasis, okay? So get at me if you want to know what's tea. Anyways, I wanted to do this video looking as natural as I can so you guys can see it yourself. Let me tell you guys where I'm at right now with my psoriasis before I start with the backstory so you guys can see. Right now, I just went 8 months without doing my treatment, and sadly I kind of wasn't really doing my treatment because I just kind of fell into a weird kind of place where I don't want to say I was depressed, but I just kind of wasn't even, I don't know, I just wasn't in the right mind space. Usually my psoriasis is completely gone with the medication that I take. So let's get into that. So if you don't know what psoriasis is, hold on, let me get my phone. Hold on. Me, myself, I have plaque psoriasis, and I have a very extreme case of it. Usually, it affects areas that are pretty, like, covered. So, like, your scalp, under your arms, like, behind your ears, under your chin. Those were a lot of, like, starting places for me. So let me give you guys the clear definition of psoriasis. Psoriasis is a long-lasting autoimmune disease characterized by patches of abnormal skin. These skin patches are typically red, dry, itchy, and scalpy. Psoriasis varies in severity from small, localized patches to complete body coverage. So me, for example, before I got the proper treatment, my psoriasis was basically on 75% of my body. It was all in my scalp, like my whole scalp was covered in psoriasis. And then my first psoriasis that I ever got, which I got in the 4th grade. In the 4th grade, I had just a weird like patch in the middle of my head. I mean, in the middle of my forehead, and everybody was kind of like, ooh, little Indian, like everybody just, and even me and my family, we just kind of thought it was jokes. When I had it in my scalp, we just thought that maybe it was like really bad dandruff and stuff like that, because my family has a history of it. So we just kind of thought that's what it was. But over the years, it just got worse and worse and worse. So it started here, started spreading all on my face, which I don't know if you can tell, but my skin is very discolored. And especially before, my skin was super discolored. Like, I looked like a cow. I used to always call myself a cow because I had patches all over my body. People who know me from middle school really know how bad it was. Like, I definitely had it all over my body. So I'm gonna answer like basic questions that I got about the psoriasis. A lot of people always ask me, does it hurt? No, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't really irritate me too much. The only thing is, in certain places where, you know, it gets just hot in that bitch, like under my arms, it does get very itchy. So I can show you guys right now. Disclaimer, this shit is ugly because of my treatments. And this is the only place I'm going to show you guys for now. I'm going to add more pictures later of like everywhere else that it's popped up recently because I missed so much treatments. But as you can see, it mostly built like, usually under my arm, when it does get under my arm, it builds almost like a big patch of it. So right now it's kind of in the process of going away since I recovered back on my treatments. I got my shots and stuff like that, so we're trying to get me back to normal. But right now my underarms are on fire. Like, the past couple months have been really fucking hard with my underarms. Here's the other one. It's really, really bad. So when people, you know, on Instagram ask me like, oh, why are your underarms so dark? That's why. Oh, and it doesn't hurt, but the only thing that does hurt is, like, especially on my scalp. On my scalp, it gets so thick that you can almost like flake it off. And then, but what you don't realize is that sometimes when you flake it off, it really flakes it off down to the scalp, and my scalp will bleed. So it doesn't hurt, but it bothers me. Like, it's just irritating. Treatments. So I have literally went through all kinds of treatments. Like, I've had this since 4th grade. They've tried to figure out what's wrong with me since 4th grade. I've been to all kinds of doctors everywhere. Doctors here in Florida, in New York, in Dominican Republic, like literally everywhere. We went to the best of doctors and nobody knew what I had. Any extra noise, Dominican as fuck, y'all already know how that goes. Basically, I went through so many different treatments. I hate needles. Let me let y'all know that one thing. I am so scary when it comes to needles, and it's because of my psoriasis, because I've had to be injected with so many dumbass needles. Finally, when I found the right doctor, which shout out to my doctor is Dr. Bromberg. He's a rheumatologist in Miami. The fucking best doctor ever, bitch. Period. When I finally got on the right treatment, we started out slow. We started out testing out some things. So, for example, one of the first, which, by the way, all the other doctors that I did go through and stuff like that, they always thought I had something like, what's it called? Eczema. They always thought I had eczema. They just thought that maybe it was like a really extreme case of eczema. So they would always give me creams for my psoriasis. And psoriasis is internal. It's not just on topical. It's not just on the skin. So with eczema, it's a little different. You can actually cure a lot of eczema issues with creams and things like that. Exfoliating, shit like that. Psoriasis is not that case. That bitch is there and it's there for good. And by the way, psoriasis does not go away. So sadly, I'm fucked with the shit for life. So some of the medications that I had to go through and little treatments that we tried. I want to say one of my first ones was, and I can't remember what it's called, but luckily I'll remember and maybe put it in the description box or add it if I learn how to do that. But it was basically where I had to go to this like therapy place where they had like chemo and things like that, and I had to basically stand in a room naked with lights around me. Yeah, I just had to sit in there for either 30 minutes, an hour, radioactive shit, whatever the fuck it was. I had to do that. So that was one of them. Then another one I had to do was I had to have injections every week. And at first they started out with the injections doing it at the doctor's office, but that changed very quick because they were like, okay, they're gonna start sending the medication to your house, so you're gonna have to start injecting yourself. That was the worst thing I ever heard in the world. Like, imagine somebody who's terrified of needles is told that for them to get better, you have to inject yourself every single week. That was hell for me. Basically, I would have to get a syringe and shoot up my stomach. The shit was disgusting. I used to have to do it every week, and I would literally try to avoid it every single week. I would literally cry. Like, I would do the most to avoid it because it was just so gross. It was so bad. And by the way, I have a really bad reflex of when I smell alcohol because of how much, like, this shit has scarred me of so many needles and shit. Like, when I smell alcohol, it makes me sick off the bat. Like, I will really just throw up right there on the spot from smelling alcohol. So even like drinks, like if I just smell vodka a little too fucking hard, I will really die. Like, it's gross. So that was one. And then they kind of tried to like switch it up and give me almost like a EpiPen style. By the way, I keep wiping my lip because I was eating a damn anyways. Guava pastry. Give me like an EpiPen style of it, and I had to stab my leg with it every week instead. And like, bro, that was even worse. Like, cause it's like it doesn't hurt, but it's just a loud sound that it just scares you, and ugh, I just hate it. Finally, we met the cure. The thing that has mostly completely changed my psoriasis, it keeps it completely away, is Stellara. Thank you fucking Stellara. I have to get it every 3 months. I just go to the doctor. He gives me my quick little Stellara shot. I get blood drawn. When I get my Stellara shot, it's just a quick 1, 2, 3. I go every 3 months, and my body is completely clear. And the Stellara has even helped like clear up my skin too, which is crazy because and also like little face routines and things that I do for my face, but mostly the Stellara has seriously cleared up my skin so much in the psoriasis. So I thank God for Dr. Bromberg for finding out about Stellara and things like that. And I mean, we're still testing new things too, but this is definitely the one that is for me and has done wonders for me so far. I think I've been on Stellara for, I want to say, like 2 years now, and it is just bomb. It is everything that I need. It's perfect, and I love it. Also, another question that I got was I self-conscious about my psoriasis? And here's what I have to say about that. If you know me from middle school, and even my doctor and everybody who knows me, surprisingly, I wasn't actually. I actually wasn't self-conscious at all about my psoriasis, because even when I was younger and in middle school and stuff like that, I was actually more insecure about the hair on my body, like my arms. I was way more insecure about the hair on my body than the actual psoriasis on me. I actually embraced it. I actually loved it. Obviously I didn't love the fact I had flakes on me and shit like that, but I loved the fact that I was different. Like, something is wrong with me, but it's getting better, and this is gonna be a journey for literally everybody around me. Was more embarrassed about the psoriasis than me. I really didn't give a shit about the psoriasis. Just really didn't care, like, which is bad. I need to work on that. But yeah, so I wasn't really too insecure growing up with it, and I thank God for that, because even just the hair shit was bad, man. I went like a year in school with long sleeves just because I was embarrassed about my hair, but yeah, I didn't care about my psoriasis. So yeah, basically that is the story on my psoriasis. I'm still gonna do a lot of videos on my psoriasis though. I'm gonna do updates. I'm gonna do little Q&As with my doctor. I'm gonna do vlogs with my doctor. Oh, another question I had was about the shot, how much it costs, insurance, all of that stuff. So one shot of Stellara is $2,000 something. No cap. And obviously I don't have $2,000 something to give up every 3 months for my shot. So yes, I do have insurance for that. Yeah. But thank you guys for watching and being curious for so long about my psoriasis. Look, it's so bad right now. It will get better though. Like, I'm gonna do updates, especially since I just missed it. I just got my most recent shot to like now get me back to clearing up since I took so long last week. So I'm gonna give you guys updates every week on how it's looking, because it's gonna take about like a good month or so to really clear up and go back to normal. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed my video. If you have any questions, once again, feel free to ask. Any concerns, whatever, let me know. Yeah.